The world of French pastry almost seems like a coveted secret. The beauty, the flavor, the texture. Well, not anymore. Okay, so we're making canelè, or canelè. Ah, oui. I don't know. I'm not, you guys know that I'm not the best at pronunciation, but I'm not gonna be talking with my normal accent and then just randomly throw in a punchy accent from another country or language or whatever. It's just weird, It's like, oh, hey guys, come on over. Let's make a little bit of a spaghetti carbonara. It's like not necessary. You don't need to go that hard. So we've made croissants, which is arguably the most famous of French pastries, which brings me to the humble canelè. This is, if you've never had this before, this is, in my opinion, one of the greatest sweet French pastries of all time. There's really nothing else on the planet like it. So whether you've had it or not, most people never think to make it, but it's actually very, very easy to make. So with all that said, let's do this, shall we?
Okay, so to make canelè, you're going to need canelè molds. Now, the superior choice is always going to be French copper. It means even, deep dark browning, but they're extremely expensive. Now, with a more affordable second option, you can use this silicone one. You can see me doing this with it. It's a massively more affordable option, but just be aware that your caramelization may not be as extreme as mine. Now, if you are using copper molds, I would recommend seasoning them before their first use according to the instructions based off of where you bought them. But the protocol is pretty much the same as a carbon steel pan. Making the batter is actually really easy. You're gonna start with a small saucepan, violently toss in 50 grams of nice butter. You don't have to do it violently, it's fine. Followed by 485 grams of whole milk and the beans from one vanilla bean pod. And go ahead and toss the vanilla bean pod in there too, why not? Place it over the stove over medium heat, and as soon as it comes to a simmer, take it off the heat and let it steep for about 10 minutes. In a separate bowl, add 100 grams of all-purpose flour, 200 grams of granulated sugar, and a small pinch of fine sea salt. Give that some whiskey business until thoroughly incorporated. Now, once your hot milk mixture has been steeped, you're gonna get another separate bowl, and you're gonna whisk together 2 eggs plus 2 egg yolks. Make sure not to incorporate any air, okay? We're not making meringue here. Now, while whisking your egg mixture, splash in a little bit of your hot milk mixture, let that incorporate, splash in a little more, let it incorporate, and what you're doing is you're tempering your eggs. You don't wanna throw in all the hot liquid and then make scrambled eggs. You just do it a little bit at a time until it comes up to temperature. Then go ahead and add all of the milk mixture, whisk it together until thoroughly combined. And finally, add 50 grams of a good rum. Again, making sure not to incorporate too much air. Remove your vanilla bean, but wait, don't throw it away. Then pour your liquid into your dry ingredients, whisking together just until combined. Do not overmix. Then just pass your batter through a fine mesh sieve. Now, if your mixture is still really hot, I'd recommend ice bathing it just until it's cold. Add your vanilla beans back to the mixture. Then just cover that bad boy and place it in the refrigerator for at least 48 hours. Some say 24 hours is enough. I disagree. 48 seems to be the sweet spot. This is crucial for properly flavored and textured canelè. And just like that, the next day, open your fridge and boom, you got canelè. Just kidding, hold your dang horses. So on bake day, you're gonna preheat your oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 1 hour. Now, while that's preheating, we need to coat our molds. So here I've got 100% organic beeswax. This is a traditional way to do it. In a heat-proof container, you're gonna combine 50 grams of beeswax and 100 grams of butter, ideally clarified, but you can get away with it not being clarified. Then just place that heat-proof container in a simmering pot of water, obviously making sure the water doesn't get in the pot, until it's completely and totally melted. Now to coat the molds, you're gonna pour the melted mixture into a mold almost all the way to the top, pour it all back out quickly, and then immediately turn them upside down on a wire rack and let them drip. Now, if you let it sit inside too much, you will overcoat the molds. I've had a couple of these get overcoated, and it's gonna feel like you chewed on a piece of chapstick when you're done eating these. So then repeat with the rest, and before filling and baking, place them in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Okay, so once all that's done, you're ready to fill these bad boys up. This part is more important than you realize. A lot of guys will say fill it 1 centimeter from the top. I found that you need to be very precise here. No more than 60 to 70 grams of batter per mold. If you overfill, you're gonna end up with white butts, and well, let me just say that they look like this and they're not very pretty, and it ruins the whole point. So don't do that. Now once all of your molds are filled, place them in your oven and bake them at 500 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes, then lower the temp to 375 and bake for an additional 45 to 50 minutes, or until beautifully burnished brown all around every piece, every side. You can always check by tipping one out, and if it has a white butt, then pop it back in, leave it in for an extra 5 minutes or until it looks beautiful. Then just let those cool in a wire rack until completely cool. And there's only one thing left to do: enjoy your labor of love.
It's time for the canelè. Despite the fact that we had trouble browning some of these, okay, we're gonna fix it. We fixed it, because this is in the future. We fixed it, and that's very good. Because originally, right, looks good, but then you see this, and then you're like, bro.
No.
This is actually a pretty good canelè because it stayed completely intact. Very good. So anyways, we're gonna eat it. So whenever you make canelè, you should have like a nice open, airy, almost like custardy, spongy interior, which is exactly what it should be. It's got a little crunch to it. Right, so we're gonna eat it. Oh yes, the flavors. So anyway, so the texture, super chewy, crunchy, caramelized on the outside, but the inside is like a flowy dreamland, and you're just flying through the clouds, and the clouds are made of sweet vanilla bean rum custard, but it's Canelèville. Most places are not gonna have access to finding really good pastry like this. You can make it at home, it's tedious, but I can easily tell you right now, it's worth it.
But do you want to know what else is worth it? B-roll.
Alright guys, and that is it. So we made canelè. I think we did a pretty damn good job. You know, the first try the browning was a little bit difficult, but we fixed it. We came full circle. It all came together. This is obviously not the easiest pastry. It's not like you just slap it in a pan and go. You know, it takes patience. You gotta wait for the batter to rest, and you gotta have the right tins, and you gotta make sure you have just the right amount of wax, and it's just the right temperature, and blah, 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 blah. But I cannot tell you how worthwhile it is to make this for yourself. I mean, if you don't have a bakery that makes canelè near you, like good canelè, you could really get like French bakery quality with this. No lie, and it's fun. And if you don't want to make it, well, I don't care. But anyway, with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.